Once upon a time, in a far-off land, lived a cat named Grundig. Grundig usually liked to sleep, but when he wasn't sleeping, he was eating. On this particular night, Grundig decided to take a nice long sleep because he was exhausted from eating all of the food and beating his sister up to keep her away from it. It seems that Grundig's great-grandmother carried the fat gene also. She too had to really work on keeping her weight down, even in those dark days of the 1900s, the late 1800s. She would always find a reason to try and get some extra exercise playing with some string and such. Grundig's Aunt Rosie was also sort of rotund. Sometimes Aunt Rosie would go out to the garden, find some field mice, and eat them right there and then. She was a very resourceful woman. Grundig slept a very long time, and as he slept, he thought of food. And as he thought of food, he became hungrier and hungrier, though he refused to move out of sheer laziness. He dreamt of his ancestors, his great-great-grandmother, and also his Aunt Rosie. He felt guilt inside, but he continued to sleep and dream of food. It wasn't easy for Grundig to deny himself the satisfaction of getting up to have some morsels. However, he relished in the whole warmth of the bed and the solitude and the food all to himself in his dreams. Usually his sister is a threat to his food. Grundig was now awake, thinking about food, thinking of beating his sister up if she were at the dish before him. He decided to meditate on it. He didn't know whether he wanted the food. He knew that he always has it. He knows all the time that it's there, and he knew that he wanted it. But he was too lazy to get up. There was a reason why he was lazy. Grundig's posterior was enormous, mostly from eating food and mostly from laying around. So this is why he refused to get up to get the food. The wise old owl watched from his high post in the living room and thought, Who will not eat the food? Who? Grundig won't eat the food. He's too lazy to get up, wise old owl. Who will eat the food then, if he doesn't get up to eat it? Well, probably Michelina, wise old owl, but we'll find out. The devil appeared in Grundig's thoughts that he had of taking the entire food dish, chewing on his sister's back, wetting her back and making her afraid so he can have all the food. This is what appeared in Grundig's mind. An evil, menacing, sinister, selfish devil. Because he knew that that was what was living inside him. Food made him this way. The wise old Sun King, who lived on the kitchen wall directly across from the food dish, saw these goings-on a daily basis, and always felt positive that maybe Grundig would have the common sense and the willpower to stay away from the food dish. After all, everyone had to eat. He was the giver of life, and he wanted to see his sister eat too. So he watched and he waited, and he had faith in Grundig that maybe he wouldn't go toward the dish. But the devil thought otherwise. Grundig will go for the dish. Grundig will eat all the food, and he'll slay his sister in the process. I have other ideas on that. I have faith in Grundig that he'll do the right thing. But Grundig was not interested. In one ear he heard the Sun King telling him the rights and wrongs of taking things from his little sister. And in the other ear he heard the devil taunting him, telling him that he should have the food. But because Grundig is a good boy, he sat tight, and he listened to the two voices and decided to go back to dream.